welcome back to the soundstage at METALCON. I'm Heidi Ellsworth, and this is Metal Coffee Shop. We are on the Coffee Conversations live soundstage, sponsored by New Tech Machinery, and we are bringing in some really interesting and different fun interviews. And so I am so excited to have Paige here. Hello.
Hi, Heidi. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, I love it. So, Paige, can you introduce yourself? Tell us about your company, because this is really interesting.
Yeah, so I'm with a company called Levelset. We are a Procore company, and we specialize in helping contractors get paid fairly and protect their lien rights. Most people don't get into this business because they love the legal aspect, they love the paperwork, but we get the opportunity to work with people who maybe are experiencing a problem for the first time or are trying to grow their business, take on larger jobs with confidence, and really want to make sure that their funds are secure and that they're extending credit in a really accountable way so that they can take on those jobs.
So I just find this so interesting. So first of all, I didn't catch that earlier. You are part of Procore.
Yes, yeah. Procore is our parent company.
Wow. I mean, everyone knows Procore. And for you to be able to provide the software and the technology, the solution to really help with liens, liens are confusing.
To say the least. Liens are confusing, and I think it's a little bit twofold. Of course, helping the contractor is a big piece, but there's also a big portion that we spend a lot of time working with of communicating with the customer. I think that there's people are super afraid of liens, and they hear the word lien and they totally freak out. And so, even just education on things like pre-liens and this is not a lien, and just having those conversations of what it means to set a job up for success, be on the same side of the table as your customer, communicate, educate so that you're both protected.
Right.
That's so really important. Special, and a huge part outside of just, of course, sending the documentation is important, but making sure we communicate that meaning as well.
And commercial and residential?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I'm just thinking as a homeowner, it is very scary to think someone's going to put a lien on my property. I'm not wild about that. But to be able to have, I think technology has brought transparency and has also brought a higher level of communication to help people through this process. How do you see your customers, what are some of the results that you're seeing when they start using Levelset?
I mean, honestly, it's one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had, because it is so cool to see people implement a change and then come back to us 3 to 6 months later, a year later, and say, wow, my average time to payment is cut in half. I took on this job that I previously said no to because I didn't know the contractor, and it was a really incredible opportunity. Like, that's really, really special.
Yeah.
I do think when you think about implementing a lien rights management process, it can look a little bit different for everybody, especially as you mentioned, residential versus commercial.
Yeah.
So there are things we do and help our contractors do. For example, our customers who work exclusively with residential contractors, we really encourage them to include like a customized cover letter on those pre-lien notices.
Yes.
That's education forward that says, hey, homeowner, this is not a lien.
Right.
Before this is a legal document that just makes your eyes roll back in your head. Like, let me help you understand why this is actually helping both of us.
Right.
So I do think that while we try to do, broad process change, it's really important to work with the individual business about what that looks like for them.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. And really, when you look at some of the size and scope of commercial, of course, it's going to be different in how you approach it. And it's scary. Now, does Levelset, and I'm saying that right? Yeah. Okay. Levelset, does it function on its own, or does it need to be part of a bigger Procore system?
So it does not need to be part of the Procore system.
Yeah.
So you can purchase Levelset as its own software. It can connect with Procore if you're already using Procore, or a number of other ERPs or tools as well. Yeah. I think that when people, when it comes to lien rights, how hands-free you want it to be is kind of up to you.
Right.
If you're somebody that's a nationwide supplier, that's going to look very different than, somebody who's doing 10 jobs a year that are individual projects, right? So I think that comes back to it's not one size fits all, and really spending the time working with those individual clients, which is what makes my job so fun.
Yes.
Figuring out what that system looks like for that company.
So the support that comes with training and support and customer service with technology, so important.
I mean, it's one of the best parts about my job. Levelset, we really do have the best people on the planet.
Yeah.
And our reviews show that, and it's something I'm always really proud of knowing the people I work with get to work with a really incredible team.
That is
There's
great.
nothing worse than being thrown the keys and saying, good luck, go drive the car.
Everything. Well, I tell you what, this is something you should look into. Paige and I are going to be talking about, we'll be working on getting that directory up for Levelset onto the site. Check it out. This is something that could really make a difference in your business going into 2025.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And stay tuned, because Paige has been working with Thea Dudley, a long-term friend of mine who is doing a lot around liens.
The credit guru.
The credit guru. And she, in fact, her first book, you all helped publish.
Yes, that's correct.
So we're